The font group is a group of commands that we use quite often when we're using Microsoft Word. Um, in a nutshell, all of these little commands allow you to change the look of text and how it looks on the page, or how it looks on the Word document, or how the printed page comes out when you finish your Word document. It gives you various options and commands to change the look of a piece of text. Just a quick reminder, it's in the Home tab on the font group, and these are the list of commands. Another thing I just want to let you know, before you can do anything, you can't edit any text without first of all selecting it or highlighting it. I tend to use the word selecting a piece of text, but some people use the word highlighting. What I mean by this is you can select a piece of text by clicking and holding and dragging over it like this, or you can also select it another way. I tend to use, if I want to select this word morning here, I just double click it to select it. Okay, so there are many ways of doing this. You can click, hold, and drag over as much text as you wish, like that, or you can double click single words, or another way of using it. It all depends how comfortable you are with using your mouse. Sometimes you can actually click at the start of a piece of text or the start of a word, and if you use the shift button on the keyboard is an up arrow. It's an arrow pointing upwards. It's on the left hand side or the right hand side of the keyboard. If you hold down the shift button, and then there are other arrows usually on the right hand side of the keyboard. They're up and down and left and right arrows, so you can, if you hold down the shift button and use these up, down, left or right arrows, you can actually select pieces of text again. Usually though, a quick way of selecting a piece of text or highlighting a piece of text is just to double click it and it will highlight. Okay, so now we're going to do a quick rundown through all of these commands. Usually the first number of commands here are used to emphasize text. If you want to make it bold or italics or to underline something, these are probably the three more common ones. Okay, so I'm going to choose words in this bit of random text that I just have prepared here. Okay, so we'll start at the top. All right, if I want to make the word this here, so I'm going to select it by clicking, holding and dragging, and I just come over here and I click on the bold icon. Or just to remind you again, I'm also giving you some keyboard shortcuts here. You can go Control B on your keyboard, but for this case we're just going to click once on the bold icon or the bold command. Notice as well, as I see it here, I'm reminded, every time you hover over an icon or a command, Word will actually tell you or show you what it's actually going to do. Okay, so each one is bold, italic, underline. You can see the little prompt coming up underneath the command. Anyway, we'll get back to this. We've selected this word this, and I'm just going to click on the bold icon, and you'll notice that it makes this word a little bit bolder, darker than the rest of the text. All right, we're going to choose the next word along the line. So I'm going to choose this word some here. So again, this time I'm going to double click it to select it. Click, click, and I've selected it. And this one I'm going to use the italics. So just once I've selected the text, I click on the italics command, and you'll notice that it just changes the font into italics. You might find it hard to spot, but believe me, in a large amount of text, it actually does make the word stand out. The next one, I'm going to choose the word random on the next line here. Okay, double click it to select it, and this time I'm going to choose the underline command. Just click once on it, and it underlines the word. Okay, a less often used command is the strike through command. Oftentimes it's set up or it's used to maybe denote that something is wrong or that a text has been recently deleted or something. Okay, so I'm going to strike through this word here. So double click it to select it and click on the strike through, and you'll notice this time instead of the underline, which puts a line under the word, this puts the line through the middle of the piece of text. All right, the next two are superscript and subscript. Wrong way around. Subscript and superscript. Not used that often, usually used in mathematical statements or in maths or scientific writing or chemical writing. Okay, I'll show you a little one in a minute. But just to show you how it works, okay, I'm going to choose two separate words here. I'm going to choose the word we and for. So I'm going to double click it to select it, and Subscript moves the word down below the line. Okay, you'll see it there. If I show you with the superscript, again, double click to select the word for and click on superscript. So you'll see what's going on here. It's moved this one down. This is your normal text, and this one's a little bit higher than the bottom line. Okay, just to show you the scientific notation, I suppose, for water is H2O. H2O. I'm going to make it a capital O. Okay, this is the scientific, but actually the scientific notation for water, just so you know, has a subscript 2. Okay, so that's how water. Anyway, that's just an aside. Okay, the next one we're going to show you again is the superscript. Oh yeah, is the highlighter. Okay, let's just say if I want to choose the highlight, I want to highlight a word. Okay, so I can just double click again the word to highlight, and you notice this highlight command or icon has a tiny little drop down, just a tiny little drop down triangle just beside the highlight. When you click on the drop down, it gives you a list of colors to select from here. Okay, so I'm going to choose light green. Now another thing I want you to notice, okay, once I've chosen the color, it keeps the most recently used color in memory. So let's just say if I want to highlight the word walk here, I just double click the word again, and you'll notice that green is already selected because it was the last one that was used. So this time, instead of clicking on the drop down menu, I just have to click on the command, and it will keep the latest used one. The next and a common one that gets used is how do you change the font color. So I'm going to change the font color on this word width. So again, this time I'm going to click, hold, and drag over it. And again, there's a tiny drop down arrow beside the letter A for the font color here. When you click on the tiny drop down arrow, it gives you a large selection of colors to choose from. I'm just going to choose one of the standard colors. I'm going to choose light blue here. So again, you just click on light blue and your font color changes. Okay, we're flying along here. We're going to come up to the upper row here now. Okay, and this command here is the font name command. Now, this command changes the font type or the type of font that we're using. So I'm going to choose the word dog. I'm going to pick this word here. Okay. Again, I'm going to click, hold, and drag over it to select this. Now, this time, if I click on this down arrow here, it'll show me here the most recently used fonts. Okay. But the other thing that it does, it shows you a whole list of other fonts that are available to you. Okay, they're all in alphabetical order, and there really is an awful lot of fonts to choose from. Okay, so I'm going to choose a fairly obvious one. I spotted impact there. Okay, I'm going to choose the word impact. You click on the font type that you want to choose. You just click on it, and it changes the font type. So it's quite obvious there that it has changed the font here. Okay. Just to show you that you can select more than one word, I'm going to select these two words here, and I'm going to change the font size of them. Now, if they're already set up to size 26, which is not a normal size. I just set it at size 26 for this demonstration purposes. Okay, so now I want to change the, instead of just picking on one word, I'm going to click, hold, and drag over two words here. Now you can select the whole text if you wish. And once I click on the drop down menu beside the number 26, I'm going to choose a fairly obvious number. I'm going to choose 48. So again, you'll see it makes the font quite large. Another way of changing the font size is to use the next two icons. These two icons will grow the font size or shrink the font size. So let's just say I want to put these ones back. I'm going to choose the word he this time. And I can just click on shrink the font size, and you'll notice that it'll bring it up or down. This one will bring it down, obviously. If I double click the word was, and if I want to grow it even larger, I just click on the grow font size icon, and it'll get even bigger. Okay. These are handy just if you want to just, rather than clicking on the drop downs. They go up to 2 points at a time. The last one I'm going to show you then is the clear formatting command. Okay, this actually allows you to clear formatting and bring it back to normal font. Now I have to say, remember what I said to you along the line there? I said that I deliberately made all this font quite large so that it will stand out and so that you'll see it. But the normal font size is usually about 12, as far as I remember. So if I want to clear the font, if I want to clear the formatting on this word was, I'm not sure, whatever it is, if I want to clear the formatting, I just highlight it again and I just click on the clear formatting icon and it brings it back to the normal font. Okay, the normal font in this case, the computer is set up to about 11. Okay. Okay, the next little demonstration I'm just going to show you as well, just so that you'll know. If you highlight a word, okay, sometimes instead of going up to the font group up here, if I highlight a word and just wait for a second, you'll notice that a drop down, a menu will appear on the screen here in front of me, okay? Sometimes it can be quite a large menu or a small menu, but you'll get all of these options without having to move the whole way up here, okay? Just take care of that or keep an eye on it. Again, if I double click the word to select it, the menu will pop up in this area here. I'm going to come over here a bit further so you'll be able to see the whole menu in this case. Okay, so if I actually choose this this word making here, if I just double click it and just wait for a second, you'll notice that all of the formatting options pop up here on the screen without having to move up here. That's just a quick aside. I hope you learned something from this small little demonstration. I must remind you as well that it's handy sometimes to have a Word document maybe open in the background so that you can practice this. You can pause these videos and you can practice there in the background to your heart's content. All the best.